I never meant anything I said, just spitting up everything I've been fed to keep it from eating away at me. Never said anything I meant, I never sent the letters that I should have sent, so it's asking too much for you all to believe. When I say never meant nobody no harm, when I say never was a cause for alarm, never knew what I was talking about anyway.
Welcome back to Lady Babylon. This is the season 3 finale, and we're going to have a Bible study tonight. I'm going to bring you 2 passages. These 2 passages will be about Scythian women and their most potent drug. I want to bring you 2 passages tonight. And the first one that we're going to look at is from Hippocrates. The second is from a guy named Gaius Valerius Flaccus, which you are a little bit familiar with by now because we've used him a couple of times. But we want to show everyone, we want to tell the kiddies, and we want to show everyone the right? Everybody's looking for the right. They want to know the right. So tonight we're at a place where we're going to again set that ship for that late Bronze Age rite, mystery religion rite, and we're going to step out of that ship. We're going to try to see through a couple of these ancient authors. We're going to see what the what's actually going on. Tonight's theme is a woman that we have yet to see. I've got a little subliminal messaging here packaged that we need to show you first, as usual, just to kind of warm up, to get our juices flowing. Chewy, light speed. So we start tonight at a place that's a little bit behind where the historians like to start. They like to start in the Iron Age for some reason. They think the Scythians just, I don't know, maybe they were deposited here by someone. They're part of these tribes that are moving and mobile populations, and they've got branches throughout different parts of the Mediterranean, Asia Minor, and the Ionian coast. Yes. Oh, God, we're going to love this stuff. These are beautiful. Let's go to them right away. Let's run to our first source tonight. And by the way, for those of you who are following with the right, just keep your hands in the car at all times. Let's do this. Bring up Hippocrates. I summon Hippocrates. Yes. Come here, you old fool. This is from the Hippocratic Corpus. I've been working with my students with this text this week, my Greek students, because it is Ionian Greek. It is Ionian Greek, and it's good for them to get exposed to something that's not quite Attic. You know what I mean? Get some of that good Homeric. You know what I mean? You can't be talking about dialects with me unless you've been there. You know what I mean? I love it. This is Ionian. This is the scientific Greek. This is what all the Hippocratic stuff is, and you love it. You're going to get these Ionian philosophers along the coast there of what's modern day Turkey, right? Oh, can you smell it? I love this stuff. Okay, throw up that Greek there. Let's look at this a little bit. Greek, please. In the Europe estin ethnos kuthikon. There was the Scythian group, the Scythian clan, yeah, in Europe, right? Which lives, oike. Listen to the Attic is oike, the Ionian is oike. Isn't that nice? It's a nice little dialectical difference. They're around Lake Meotis, which is the Sea of Azov, right? Right. Excellent. Excellent. We showed that subliminally. You should have it programmed. We got there to that place. We found it. We landed. Thanks, Chewy. You can land now. That's fantastic. All right. And these people were different, says Hippocrates, or the Hippocratic corpus, whoever it was that wrote this. Right? Diapheron. They differed, right, from the other nations. Yeah, they're called Sauromations. The Sauromatai. The Sauromatai, they're called. Yeah, and the women of these people, again, a little bit of Ionian Greek here, not the Attic tuton, but the Ionian tuteon. You like that? They throw in a little extra vowel, then get assimilated. Love that. Love these people. What do the women do? He says the hippadzontai. They ride horses, and they toxeusi. They shoot arrows, poison arrows. Okay. And they akontidzusin. They throw javelins from horseback, apotonipon, as they're riding. Wow, these are some tough people. Kaimachontai, and they fight with the soldiers. They fight in wars. Isn't that neat? And then we get the line that throws us all the curveball. Okay, don't take your medicine, right? Take your nausea pills, guys, right? My regulars will know this, right? Take your nausea pills. Heos an parthenoi eosin. Until they become parthenic. Until they become a Parthenos. Wait. That's the age of able to produce children. So, but not having had any children yet. That's what a Parthenos is, right? You can also call her a heifer, right? Yeah, wow. This is fantastic. Wait a minute. These girls were in the cavalry and using toxic bows, riding the horses. Yeah, apparently they were so darn good. They could kick anybody's butt, right? Even the Romans, Mr. Professional Army, right? Even they could, were no match for these tribes, these horse cultures that are living around the Black Sea, some of which are called the Amazonia, right? The Amazones, the Amazons. The Amazons, right? What do we know the Amazons do? We know that they cauterize one breast. Why do the girls cauterize one breast? Hippocrates says down below, he says their mothers cauterize their breast, right? Their right breast. Why is that? Because, when you're jumping around on a horse at gallop, this is what these girls can do. They can jump around, move around the horse as the horse is galloping. And they can sit and shoot you from your front while they're running at a full speed away from you. They can shoot you while running away. That's fantastic. How can you get beyond that? Wow, that's incredible. Wait a minute. What happens when they become virgins? Right now you see how terrible, my students, you should see how terrible is that translation for Parthenos is virgin. No, when they become of age, they'll start having children, right? What do they do? They have to kill 3 enemy. Once they get 3 enemy killed, then they can take a man. It doesn't say they can enter into marriage. It says they can take a man. They can take someone after they've killed 3 people. Have to kill 3. It's a sacrifice, right? It's part of the sacrifices that must be made. You talk about human sacrifices, right? Sometimes in the performance of the mystery, there has to be an understanding of the nature of the sacrifice, right? And if our young women who are going to be producing the future generation, if they are not properly sanctified, right? What are we doing? What are we doing? What kind of, we don't need any of this, right? All of this is brought to us, as we saw last week from Lycophron, by the bow, by that bow, right, with its poisons. Okay. I wanted you to see in the, go ahead and put up, yeah, that's pretty much, in the next, I just wanted to see in the next paragraph of that work, he talks about the cauterizing of the breast and that process of doing it. So, what an amazing, amazing figure. Just stop for a minute and say, we stepped out of our ship. We're in the late Bronze Age, and we see one of these people from this tribe, this special tribe that lives around, the Sea of Azov. Yeah, Lake Meotis. Let's see what one of these citizens, for lack of a better word, and that's my word. I'm not giving them that because they didn't talk like that with each other. One of their kind, one of their ethnicity. Let's see what she's like. Let's pull her out and see what she's like. Well, we have a very nice example that is given to us by a fellow who guarded the Sibylline books. And everybody's going to say right away, oh yes, the heart of Rome, right? The prophecies, right? All this stuff is written in. No, it's not even the right language you're looking at, right? Okay, remember, follow the drugs. If you ever get lost, put your hand out, grab that rope that's on the side of a cave, and follow the drugs, right? Follow the drugs. We're going to go to she who was called by Dracontius. Isn't that a nice name? Dracontius means Mr. Dragon. She who is called by Mr. Dragon, Scytha. Scytha. It's our word for the Scythians. Wait a minute. You mean there was one woman who was called Scytha? Yeah. And Medea, who the Median people call themselves after, the Medes? Yes, my God, they called her Scytha. Isn't that nice? Right, it comes from, they had a verb, scruthizo, meaning to shave your head. They had to take your scalp, right? It was proof. If you're going to want to enter into marriage, you have to have some kind of, you got 3. Are you sure? It was a big battle, a lot of confusion, right? You got to show what your worth is. Who is this person? Let's see her. Let's see who the Medea is. Now, from Valerius Flaccus, I want to go to our second text. But before we do, I just want to tell you, this is a place for the education. So remember that we always have to go to the sea for that education. Remember who we are. We are farmers. We are fisher people. We are people who range and migrate and found cities, colonize. And we are people who live on horseback, right? We're people who become one with that horse, right? And that horse is something very, very important. That horse is so important that you see that horse ride into the Parthenon, right? You're thinking, oh my God, what class is this thing? What does it have to do? This is too Eastern, right? Well, it has everything to do with you morons. Look at the Parthenon. Why is she who she is? Why is there the association of the horse? Why do we have this divine virgin? You guys realize we worship this divine virgin, right? I'm going to show you that divine virgin's most potent drug, her most potent drug. And, but we have to start in the sea, right? Where everything starts. Bring us the sea. The little, yeah, bring us to, we're teaching about the sea today. Go ahead.
Remember what this F-I-S-H word spells? Fish. You put the fish right under the sea. There's the fish swimming under the sea. Now you can read the word fish.
As you can tell, the Mycenaean Greeks were getting their drugs from under the sea. Yes, they're getting their purple from under the sea. Oh, we gotta love this. We gotta love this. Okay, I want to bring up Gaius Valerius Flaccus. And as we're going there, I want you guys to look at this. Your text has a couple of different differences than mine does. I'm using what I consider to be a better text. But there's a couple of minor changes, but this is here's a good breakdown of a short passage that comes to us from Gaius Valerius Flaccus. And I want you to remember now, he has access to those Sibylline books. Okay, so you could say, the last pair of eyes that was on our subject, right? Those mysteries embodied in that dactylic hexameter. Yes, those mysteries are buried within the prophecies of the Sibyls. Yeah, you thought it was Latin, didn't you? No. Love it. Bring it up. Bring it up. So remember, he's got access to this material. That's the past and the future in the present. That's how that oracle works. And the last eyes to have this, that we have something surviving from, are Gaius Valerius Flaccus, who was one of the Quindecimviri. He was one of the 15 people who guarded these books. One of the 15. Now, some later they disappeared, right? Destroyed, possibly spirited off, and possibly hidden somewhere up the backside of some Templar. Did you know, really quick, the devil won't mind this. Really quick, did you know those Templars in the trials they talk about? They're interviewing some of the yeah, thanks, Chewy. Chewy's cheering me on. Chewy loves the Templars. Yeah, did you or did you not say the documents, the Inquisition documents? Did you or did you not lick the tip of the male member or the anus of your superior? Come on, people. How many of us have been in that situation? How many of us have been there? Yeah. It was purple because it had that drug on it, right? The Templars had that purple cross in their shorts, right? Because stop. It's not that. A purple cross in your shorts, right? Why would you have a purple cross in your short? Because they're using that burning purple, which we'll see referred to here in this passage. You're going to love this. Okay, so remember, we're in the cult environment. We just stepped out of our ship. We're watching it. We're sitting. You have a front seat right now to ancient cult. What's going on? Okay, let's see it. Let's do it. I'm going to read from my good copy here. Okay, love it. And we begin Yes, yes. Give me a second here. Where did I? Russusarhamon Solom Proto, we were Galdens, Matin Sive Mori Quoting. Well, it's Maiora. There we are. Maiora Precatur Carmina. She prays these greater prayers. Maiores Hecatin imitera vires. She prays that Hecate send into her greater vires. What are vires? Greater powers. Greater powers. Yes, what are these powers? On a very practical side, we're talking about the capacities of drugs. And this language is used on the medical side. You're about to get hit with half a dozen medical terms, right? We're talking about the powers of drugs, whether or not drugs have been adulterated. Oh my God, you classicists out there, you guys, you got to get this together, man. This is our chance. Our chance. Whose chance is this? This is the muse's chance. Get your act together. Look what we're doing. She prayed that Hecate would send these powers now into herself. Yes, and that she could stand there. She stood there, contenta, neck contenta, not happy, right? Not satisfied. Not satisfied with what? Notis venenis. With the poisons that are known. The known poisons, right? These are the poisons that you and I would have access to, that we would know about, and she's not satisfied with those. She wants those ones that are in development. She wants those ones that are deep, that you can't get to unless you've been initiated. Do you remember what we read about Medea, that she is that priestess who initiates? Oh, now we get to see her. Now we get to see Scytha in action, the Scythian queen. We get to see her in action, right? Right? And you say, wait a minute, no, her ethnicity, she's part Greek. Right? Whatever. Right? Whatever, dude. Right? Can you see her? Let's see what she does. Right? I think she's Libyan. Yeah, I think she probably has some Greek relations because she's got family. She's got royal ties. So, yeah, a lot of stuff. But she's prophesying from Thera. Everybody remember, all you classists, remember that she's prophesying from Thera. Pindar saved that her own prophecy. She is the first oracle, people. Wow, before it all blew up. That's gorgeous, gorgeous. Anyway, let's keep going. So what does she do? Kingit, in a very unusual line, Kingitur inde sinus. Yeah, what her? Wait a minute. Where's the main verb here, Ryan? Where's the main verb here? Jump down a couple of lines, right? Look at promit. She brings out from. What do you do when you promit something? You produce it from one place to another, right? And that can include a process. These are all words that are used in conjunction with the making of medicines. So it doesn't surprise us that she produces from her sinus. Wait, what? She produces from her sinus. Yeah. After it is abrasively rubbed round. Yeah. She produces what? The Caucasian flower. The flower of the Caucasus. Isn't that nice? What is that? She produces it. It's a flower that she produces from the sanguinis, from the blood of Prometheus. Yeah. From the blood of the Promethean what? Not just Prometheus himself. From the blood of the Promethean fibra. Fibra. Do we have a fibra up here? What is it? Where's a fibra? Here we go. Oh, look at this, people. What is a fibra? A fiber or a filament. That's nice. Look at number 2, the entrails. The entrails. Now, for those of you who want to take the extra step, the philologists, look at the very top, where in that second set of lines, it says a fiber, filament, and a plant, and a part of an animal's body, etc. And it says CF nervus. CF nervus. See the nervus. What is the nervus? It is also a fiber or a sinew or a tendon, right? And he tells us it's that thing that is stretched out. It's that thing that is stretched out, that tendon or nerve, right? Yeah, yeah. What do we stop? What do we have here? What do we have here? Hit that. There we go. Thanks. Look at B here, people. Right? Look at B here. Do you see that little Latin expression, membrum virile? Yeah. What is a fiber? What is a nerve? It is that tension that is stretched when we are going into the orgasmos. Yes, it is the membrum virile. That just means the male member in Latin, which is their fancy avoidance way of saying penis. Yeah, that's a penis. Right. So what does she do? She collects from her sinus that flower. That flower that is produced by what? It's produced by the stretching penis. Yeah. The Promethean origin that vulture stands over. It says she's the vulture. Medea is the vulture that sits over Prometheus. Yeah. Yeah. Where is that Parthenos? Where's that Parthenos? Okay, buckle up because it gets even dirtier and we're going to talk about fetuses. We're going to talk about fetuses. This is fantastic material. Yeah. So she produces this straw along with the gramina, those grasses that are nourished by the wind, those herbae, those drugs that are nourished by the winds. Remember, Medea writes, is an author of the first hymns to the wind. To the wind. Isn't that nice? Why is she doing that? Because that's for those who have ears to hear. Right? We know exactly what those winds are. That's what she works with. Fantastic. Love it. Yeah, anyway, this cruror, this substance, it's sacred and it endures, right? And grows, on these frozen slopes, in this frozen massive storm. Right, grows this thing, this substance, and it is what? It is an immortale. It is immortal. It doesn't languescit. See that verb languescit? It doesn't diminish in strength. Languescit. It doesn't diminish in strength. Not even up to the ends of the long ion. Right? You like that? You like that? And at the same time, okay, wait a minute, you're starting to get lost. Go ahead and take it down in Latin and I'll just translate it here. You're starting to get lost a little bit, right? Because you're right within the celebration of the mystery. What happens to this flower? This flower, stat, it stands salvus, safe, contra fulmina, against the lightning. It stands safe against the lightning. And in the middle of the flames, wait. Is it on fire? Yes, it's on fire. In the middle of the flames, those powers open up. They fluoresce. You have to have that heat. Remember, those venoms provide that heat. We were just looking at Philomenus last week. And he says those venoms are powerful because they contain the seeds of fire. The seeds of fire. Those of you who bought into the evangelical fairy tale that is the Bible, yeah, you were ripped off a little bit. There's actual practical history behind here, right? Shame on you, Harvard. Get your legion up and go take back the New Testament, bro. Right? Take back the New Testament. Don't you have some scholars out there who can do that? Don't you have some people who, these archaeologists wouldn't be having so many questions if we were on our stuff. You know what I mean? If we were doing what we should be doing. By that, I mean classicists, right? Because I have a PhD in classics, right? And if those of us who have been professors, right, our professors didn't preserve and guard those texts, then we're not doing our job. Okay, we're not doing our job. And you know what's going to happen? It's Tartarus, baby. It's Tartarus. You know what happens to those, you know, who fail the muse, right? You come in and you prostitute the muse. Where do you end up in Tartarus? Check it out. You classicists know. You know where you end up. The devil's waiting, man. And this stuff just turns him on. People like that just turn him on. He's just waiting to show you in a Chaldean hoop skirt exactly what you should be doing. You know what I mean? Whew! Let's see what happens here. Who was it first, right? Who was it first who found this? Oh, it was Hecate, right? She's the one who first made the harpin or the falx, right? The harpy, she's the first one to make the harpy? Yeah, she is. Do you know what a harpy does? A harpy has a scythe, and a harpy cuts off your testicles. Like that. How would you like that? Do you know what Hermes says? What does Hermes say to the idiot Odysseus, who's looking everywhere for drugs? Everywhere you find him, he's out hunting for drugs, right? And he's out looking for drugs, and he stumbles across a woman who is going. Hermes has to tell him. He says, "Be careful, because she may cut off your manhood." Yeah. He said, "Huh?" He says, "Yeah. First, she's going to drug you, and she's going to use her wand to do it." Now, I don't know. Maybe that appeals to some people. But Odysseus, he didn't want to go that route. You know, he saw what it did to his men. He didn't want to go that route. Yeah. So he made her swear. You know what I mean? He made her swear. He's like, "Don't cut off my hoo-hoo." And she's like, "Well, then sleep with me." He's like, "Okay, but no funny business," right? So she kept him prisoner for a while. You know, eventually let him go because he cries all the time. Odysseus, you thought the Odyssey was about Odysseus. It's not, right? It's about Circe, and it's about Medea. Yeah, and it's about their influence, an amazing influence. These are amazing women, amazing women. I just want to say a word to Cambridge, a shout out to Cambridge. And you guys know I'm going to do it. Mary Beard, shout out to you, Mary Beard, for being such a poop throwing primate that you would devour the riches of the muse and spit out something like, "Well, Athenian women stayed at home all the time. They didn't do anything," which, first of all, is not a scientific statement, right? That's not an academic statement. That's just a theory, right, that you're trying to propagate. Right? It has nothing to do with the actual history. And, you know, I hope in Tartarus that you're able to find some sort of penance, you know, under the heel of the Medwa. Yeah, the people who are developing these drugs and these civilizations. Yeah, this is shame on people. Shame on us. Classics, shame on us, right? I wouldn't wish anything but the highest standard on classicists. I wouldn't wish anything but the highest standard. You people knew what you were doing, right? You weren't doing this for careers. Well, I don't know, maybe you were. But most of you, there's some kind of kernel. I know, classes, there's some kind of kernel. We want to preserve these texts. You know, Helen comes out and has a party and put drugs the wine. So people are so blitzed, they wouldn't care if you killed their parent in front of them. Yeah. And women didn't do anything, right? They didn't do anything. No, they just developed a giant science. You know, it's the Antikythera of pharmacology. Anywho, Medea is using her own body. In case you didn't notice, she's using her own body to produce this drug that it becomes the linchpin of everything. Nothing can happen without it. Yes. And it's connected with the purple. It's connected with the purple for those of you. I've got a rush. I can hear the dogs beginning to bark. Yes. But anyway, Hecate showed this, right, to her assistant. She showed it to her assistant. And yeah. And after what happened? right? Who's her assistant, right? Her assistant is Medea, right? And what did she do? What did Medea do? After 10 cycles, in the 10th cycle of the moon, yeah, is it Phoebe here? Is it Phoebe? Let's see. It's the lightener, right? Yeah. Hmm. When she's ready to give birth, what happens? She metit feta. Feta metit. Look at it. Feta metit. Feta metit. Feta metit. What does she do? What does she do? She harvests the fetal stuff. Oh my God. She harvests the fetus. Oh, this is seriously? Yeah, no, this stuff they're doing is quite, it's again considered a sacrifice. It's considered a sacrifice. And where are you doing this all? You're doing this in the place. This one's going to throw you. Even the classist here, you're going to get thrown. Where is she doing all of this? Yeah. Where is all this practice, this mystery? Where is it coming from? It's coming from that virus. It's coming from that essence that is so strong within her. And what is the Roman name for that essence? Juno. Juno. Now do you understand who the wife of God is? The wife of God? Yes, she is that power, right? And you suddenly say to yourself, oh my God, these are all women. We have a trinity of women that we're working for. Venus, the morning star, Venus, the morning star, the Virgin, and Juno. Wait, aren't these the three? Wait a minute. These are the three that the Hesperides, Apple, Heracles, the daughters, the poisons, the mystery, the dragon. Yes. Yeah. Welcome back. Okay. Now, as you wake up, realize the right that's going on. The text continues. Flaccus continues on to talk about how he stretches out in rigor. He has his moment of release. His pain, it's described as unmitigated pain as she sits over him, and she bedews the earth. She bedews the earth. And that's literally what it says. It says she makes dew. D-E-W. D-E-W. From the gore. From that cool, that holy thing that sits in the poculum, in the sacred cup, that golden cup. She produces the foam. Aphrodite, she who comes from the foam. Yeah, are you seeing it? That's why I told you we had to go to the ocean, right? And in the very next lines, Venus arrives to both power her speech and her hand. Her speech and her hand. Yeah, which if you knew the magic, you'd know, oh, okay, that's this area and that area. Yeah, this is gorgeous, people. This is gorgeous. And we have so much of it preserved. We have so much of these rites preserved. If classicists would get up and start doing their jobs, right, with these texts. Come on, people, right? Come on, take it back. Take back the territory, right? Keep the museum open. Boo to Princeton for cutting off its own head philologically. No more Greek, they say. Boo on you, Princeton. Princeton, I'm sure you have plenty of ideas and plenty of notions, plenty of theories. And you know what they're worth? Zilch. Give me some text. Yeah, let's roast them. Let's get those people from Princeton, Chewy, and let's build that barbecue that we found in the Codex Walawanagi. You know what I mean? A metaphorical barbecue. Let's barbecue them. I got a Princeton guy right now, metaphorically on a barbecue. And I'm going to do to him. We'll call him Joe Princeton. Oh, God, I'm just going to start to like this. This is the season finale, right, for season 3. Season 4, we're going to bring you some upgrades. Got to give you some upgrades. And I'm going to construct a torture chamber. I didn't want to give that away early. But It's somewhere that we can pack young. And now we're going to have Joe Princeton. Come here. Yes, I'm going to introduce. I already want to call him up. I want to call him up. You know what I mean? He has the soul of some dead sophist. You know, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. The Furies, Joe, the Furies say, your greed stains your soul with the stench of ruin. Right? Long time before that was ever, popularized. We're talking old. We're talking old Joe Princeton. I'm going to give you a theriac, and I'm going to administer it where they administered theriacs. I am, and I'm going to show the world, Joe, what you caused us to miss. We need to see this, guys. I wanted you to see that the strongest drug was the one that she made herself. Yeah, I look forward to next season. I look forward to seeing everybody. I'm going to officially go on a week's vacation where I will have 1 week to cross the space-time continuum, to be able to enter into a place where I can associate with the dead. This will be my 1 week Nequion. So it's starting now. I will see you guys back Friday after this one. Yeah, for 1 week, right? We're just doing 1 week, right? Sorry, chewy plans. I just do. Okay, I'll see you guys, and I promise to bring you back fresh material right out of the jaws of those demons, right out of those, right, crawling right up out of the Greek. Oh, love it. Hail Satan.
When I say never meant nobody no harm, when I say never was a cause for alarm, maybe you'll understand what I meant someday. Maybe I will too. Just put on different masks and ask the questions that feller might ask.